Continuing to track Hurricane Irma, what you're looking at right there on the left. Some scenes from earlier out of Puerto Rico. One of the islands, they're certainly feeling the impacts from Irma. The worst of it stayed offshore, but even the less worst was bad here for us. Trees down there for you. You got street signs mangled as well. So quite a bit of a mess taking shape there for us in and around Puerto Rico. On the right side, you've got downtown Miami. Bracing for what is yet to come. Miami-Dade County at this point now has ordered 650,000 residents to evacuate. This is the largest attempted evacuation in the county. All right, well, let's get you the very latest on what is going on with Irma. Still a very powerful Category 5 hurricane right now, 175 mile per hour sustained winds. Moving now to the west-northwest, right around 16 miles per hour. You can see where it is in relation to Puerto Rico, pulling farther and farther away, but now moving its way towards the Turks and Caicos, southern Bahamas. Those will be the areas impacted next. As we move through time, there is the projected path, again, making its way towards portions of South Florida here as we head towards the weekend. A very powerful system. There's really nothing that is around or in the way to impede it from maintaining that strength over the next several days. So a very powerful storm is going to be impacting the lower 48. At this point, we can pretty much say that is going to be the case out there for us. We do want to head live to Miami. That's where we find NBC's Sarah Rosario. And Sarah, what's the latest on how things are shaping up there across the region?
Well, Alex, we know that people are taking the threat here very serious for Hurricane Irma. People are heeding the warnings. We've seen traffic bumper to bumper on the roads north leading out of Miami. So people are listening, but some people have decided to stay. They're seeing and they know that, the building codes were tightened after Hurricane Andrew. And so many of these people think our buildings are secure. We can ride this out. But local officials are saying, hey, that's not the case. Get out now while you can, especially if you're in a mandatory evacuation zone, which is where we are right now. We're also in a marina where you can see many of these yachts here are still parked, and that's because their owners can't take them anywhere. If they go south, they're going to be heading directly into the path of Hurricane Irma. And if they head north, we know the storm is tracking north, and you can't outrun a hurricane, so it just doesn't make any sense. Many of these people forced to leave these multi-million-dollar yachts here and just hope for the best that they can withstand those hurricane force winds. But as you know, not very likely. So we'll see what happens here. Earlier today and even now, we have a cruise ship that recently arrived here this afternoon. This is odd because normally cruise ships get here early in the morning and then they drop the people off. The people spend the whole day here and then they leave. In this case, this ship arrived here in the afternoon. So we're noticing that this ship is here at an odd time, which means that it's docking here. It's coming in early to avoid the path of Hurricane Irma. Many people here in Miami are hoping to get gas. We know there's a gas shortage. More than a third of the area here in South Florida is without gas. Good news is more fuel is on the way, thanks to Governor Rick Scott requesting from the federal government to lift those weight and the time requirements for truckers that they're allowed to be on the road, allowing those truckers to come here to this area and provide much needed fuel to people here so they can get out ahead of the storm. Alex.
All right, thanks so much, Sarah. We appreciate you. I'll be checking back with you as we continue to follow Hurricane Irma getting closer and closer to South Florida. All right, let's get you to what's happening with Miami and timing things out here for us. Notice those 40-plus mile-per-hour wind gusts. Expecting those to start to slide on in for Saturday morning, lingering into late Sunday, but 100-mile-per-hour wind gusts plus Sunday morning is when we think that will be the timing for that. Also, don't forget about that rainfall threat. Some heavy rainfall with Irma. We could be looking at 8 inches up to about a foot there in Miami itself. And storm surge could be up to 10 feet. That'll be possible there. And it's not just Miami. You can see all across South Florida here. We've got quite a bit of rainfall that is anticipated out there. This is the forecast going through Monday. A lot of double-digit totals there for us across the southeastern part of the state, again, including Miami. You can see where the heaviest and the most will fall. We're essentially looking at Saturday and Sunday for the higher totals to come on in. Well, coming up, we will continue to break down the future track of Hurricane Irma as this dangerous hurricane approaches Florida as well as the southeast U.S.
Mom, I just saved a lot of money on my